Hi Virgo, welcome to your end of July 2017 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. So I do these updates for the mid to late periods of each month. They are general in focus. And of course they are general in terms of how many of you are out there. If you'd like a personal reading using your natal chart in many of my readings, please click on the link below and it will take you to my web store. But do not do that until after you watch this video, obviously. This is going to be for your late July period. And I can't believe that we are already in July as I record this. So, just amazing. Everything is going so quickly. All right. Alrighty then. Let's see here. I'm kind of happy that some of these, I just did Leos, and some of these have been having a more business-like feel to them, which is nice because I do separate love readings, and it would be nice to just focus on career sometimes too. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so some of you Virgos are a little bit indifferent in your life at the moment. This is the centerpiece. This is the blasé. I call it the meh card. Four of Cups. Now, some people say that this can always also be emotional stability, because the number 4 does represent stability and foundation structure, and the cups represent the emotional self and the water signs. But I just wish they would stop depicting, well, I put this down too quickly because I wanted to emphasize that person's stone face, that indifference, that boredom that this card tends to bring about. Emotional stagnation, and this could be work-related. It could be, you know what I was thinking too, because the past position is a card that can be, I always think of somebody cheating or stealing with this card. But I'm wondering if you're cheating because you're emotionally unsatisfied. And most of the people watching this, probably at least 82%, will be women, okay? And most of those women will be dealing with men. I suppose I don't have to make it male-female, but sometimes there is a dynamic that we explain things away, because supposedly there is a statistic that most women cheat because they don't feel that emotional connection with their partner. And I can't remember why most men cheat. I don't know if it's because of just the sex itself, or, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same with them and they just, you know, some of them just don't know it. But let's not limit ourselves with gender. Let's just talk about the symbolism. So something in your life has made you indifferent emotionally. And it could be somebody else's cheating. It could be that you cheated because this has been an ongoing issue. And I guess it really doesn't matter in a sense, because the important thing is the focal point, which is that 4 of Cups. How you got there isn't important for this, but it is important for your future, because the past tends to repeat itself until you look at how you interact with situations. Even if you're somebody that is chronically being cheated on and you feel like this constant victim of that, I definitely would look at yourself and how you contribute to the situation. And somebody's going to say, well, that's blaming the victim. Well, what about if we throw out the concept of victim? Maybe then that will shut people up and we can actually do something about this problem. Because being a victim doesn't get you anywhere. And in today's society, there's like this big emphasis on identifying people as victims, getting them to identify themselves as a victim of this, a victim of that. And when you are a victim of something, it means you're dependent upon an outer entity to change their ways. And experience tells us that people change when they're good and ready. They don't change when we whine or when, we tell them they're mean. They're a meanie. They're cheating on us. So the moment you take charge of your life, whatever is going on, let's say you are being cheated on, and you say, you know what? Okay, that person is cheating. That's on them. I'm somebody who doesn't like people cheating on me, so I'm going to move on with my life. I really recommend the book Codependent No More by Melody Beatty, and to me, it's actually a spiritual book. It's a law of attraction book. Because codependence is so prevalent and it's so sneaky too. And it really was such a saving grace in my life at times when I thought other people's behavior controlled me. And believe me, it's still easy to lapse into that. It's not that you're ever maybe 100% protected or invulnerable from that. But the point is that you get better. And the better you feel, the more, I think, good stuff comes your way because of the law of attraction. So, anywho, we're looking at that as the focal point. And then we have here the Four of Pentacles. This is a card of the person who is a wise money manager, maybe holding on too tightly to their money, maybe being stingy, or just plain materialistic. It could be if somebody is married and they're contemplating divorce and they are thinking, okay, what's going to be my financial loss if I'm in this situation? Am I going to lose my shirt in this divorce? And initially I was saying this was more of a business reading, and then I got off on a tangent about personal relationships. I think that for some of you, this is a business situation where you feel bored at your current place of employment. And maybe you've started to, on the sly, on the down low, start to talk to other employers. And because you want to figure out your options. I think you're going to be successful if you're doing something along those lines. The Four of Pentacles is financial stability. And then you have as the higher message, which is like the spiritual lesson, the Six of Pentacles, which is getting what you are worth. So perhaps that's what was the cause of your discontent, was that you felt taken advantage of. And Virgos are very easy to involuntarily volunteer for that because you're like the go-to person. You're very efficient, so you're very good at what you do, especially the small details, but you're also so willing to do them. You're so helpful. You want to be of service. You are the servant. And I say that with all due respect. I say that respectfully. And yet, you deserve to be paid what you're worth. You deserve to be given the same treatment as others who are doing the same work. And you probably did not feel that way. Someone may have even stolen some of your ideas. That could be what the Seven of Swords was all about too. And then the boss says, wow, what a brilliant person. And you're like, wait, I did this. This person did not come up with that. I did. What crosses you is represented by the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card of somebody who is very, you know, you're 9 because September is in the 9th month. The number 9 is a humanitarian number. It's connected in the major arcana. You're connected to the 9th card, which is the Hermit card. And Pentacles, it would seem that Pentacles in the number 9 would be very contradictory. But it's about somebody who is financially independent. And why would this be crossing you? Because in personal relationships, and especially if you're a woman who's interested in men, because this is kind of like the dynamic that we see in our modern era, that women are no longer, they don't need a man to support them financially. And that is awesome, but the downside of that is that you see a lot of women single into their late 30s who maybe want to be married and have children, but they just are caught between a rock and a hard place because they were taught that they should be building up their careers and everything is going swimmingly, but they may feel like something is missing, and yet it's like, oh, what is that term? It's like a vicious circle. The more career success you have, the more money you're making, the harder it is to kind of turn that away. The Four of Pentacles is you being so successful in that sense, and you become more and more isolated in that wealth, where it's like you may begin to start to wonder, am I ever going to find a person to start a family with if you're of that age group? And so you may be in your mid-30s, you may be in your late 30s, and you want it. If you don't want it, then there's no debate here. And in your case, if you don't want that, then the Nine of Pentacles can simply mean that perhaps you're just too consumed by money, and it is creating a you're isolating yourself with maybe being a workaholic, maybe maybe it's spurned on by concern for financial security or overly materialistic concepts, which is not typical of Virgo, but you might have a lot of Leo in you, or the signs right next to you are Leo and Libra, and both of these like to live large, so you might have these personal planets in Leo and or Libra, and so that drives you to make as much money as possible to support your lifestyle. But then it isolates you as well, so it's like kind of another vicious circle. Anyway, what is coming in for you, or sometimes this can be the advice, the Star card. This could be an Aquarian if that's somebody that is a romantic interest, or they have that Aquarian vibe to them. This could simply be that you feel a renewed sense of hope about your life for some reason, especially if you have kind of found a new job that supports you more. Maybe you were being very stressed out and you were feeling overwhelmed by the situation that was taking place. The Star card can be about healing. And the outcome is the Hangman. So I wanted to tell you that there is going to be a Mercury retrograde in your sign starting on August 12th. So the shadow period begins at the end of July. And this can, I don't know, I mean, I've heard differing things about somebody who is ruled by Mercury, which would be you as a Virgo, especially Virgo rising, that is considered your ruler. You know, Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. And I'm curious if the Mercury retrogrades affect you more. But the shadow period does begin at the end of July. So that may be kind of slowing down any kind of negotiations that you may be making with a new employer, perhaps. But don't fear it. This too shall pass. Mercury goes direct on September 5th, and it goes out of its shadow right around the time of the new moon in your sign. And this is, so your month is in September. Well, starting in late August, we have your solar return. So you have a lot to look forward to, Virgo. And also, too, remember that Leo is your 12th house. So with all these planets moving into Leo, well, I'm saying all these planets. We're having the sun there. We're having a new moon in there on the 23rd of the month. And then Mars is there, I think, on the 21st. So this is a hibernation time for you, and that might be the Hangman. Let go and let God. Stop trying to make things happen if they have kind of hit a standstill. Trust that the universe has your back and will be working behind the scenes to get you what your heart desires, represented by this card. So, Virgo, I wish you all the best in late July, going into August. Take care of yourselves. Bye.